seeing a female who's of mixed heritage, hopefully that empowers them and lets them feel like, yeah, I can also do this too.
So today's guest is Sonia Robinson from Southern Oak. Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you for having me.
So today's episode, we are going to be speaking about Sonia's career journey, what Southern Oak is, and the future of Miss Oak. So, Sonia, you're the owner of Southern Oak. How did you get into the industry?
So I've been working since I was about 14. So as soon as I could start earning some money, I went straight into working. And I kind of fell into working into construction because I'd already done quite a few different roles. Went into banking first. As soon as I was sort of 16, got my NI number, went into banking from doing temping, did some office roles and stuff. Went into property and then into event management. As you can see, I'm just finding my way. And then after I had children, the event management, although I absolutely loved that was one of my favourite things to do, really suited my personality, just meeting with different people and stuff like that, negotiating and things like that. So, but yeah, once I had children, the weekends and the evenings and stuff just became too much. So after going back after maternity leave, the easiest sort of transferable skills that I could or industry I could move straight into was sales. And so I went into sales, which again was using all of the skills and experiences that I'd built up in my previous roles. And then it went into sort of business development, worked my way up into account management, and then COVID hit. So COVID hit and I was then on furlough and then got made redundant once we went back. Then I found a little job in doing sort of like the administration. It started off but it was for a small construction company. But then found out that I was basically ended up running the whole back office of this company. So, yeah. And then while I was doing it, there was lots of little things I just kept thinking, do you know what? I would do this differently or I would do that differently. And then, I don't know, yeah, one day I started to think about different products that I might decide to, that I liked, that I would be interested in, because I thought, right, I could run a construction company. I feel like I could do this. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me just find the product. And then I thought, you know what? I liked a high-end product because I thought, you know what? And then I like the look and I like the fact that with oak and everything, I found that it was just like sustainable, durable, and I liked it aesthetically. It was just looks nice. All my furniture in my front room was oak as well. And I was like, I'm going to go with oak. So then what I did is I looked at my all of the contacts that I had within construction and started to sort of build a team around me. So I've gone in a really unconventional way where I knew how to run a construction business, but I didn't have the specialist knowledge or in-depth knowledge about the actual product. So the next thing was to build the team. So, and
did you have to learn anything going into this Oak, or did you just find, like you just said, just finding the right people to help you build that? Yeah.
So basically what I did is originally, first of all, I just found the people. So I found, I've got a friend who works in recruitment and I started to ask them, look, just started reaching out to different contacts and stuff and saying like, I need to find people that have got the knowledge to be able to do the sales, to be able to do the project management and things like that. And then once you have a couple of people, then they already because they've been working in the industry for so long, then they know the installers, they know the manufacturers and stuff like that. So it just naturally started to come together. And then all of a sudden I had a team and I had a business and I was, and then I basically set up the business and went for it, took a leap of faith and come out of PAYE and decided to be an entrepreneur.
I love that. I love that. And tell us a bit more about Southern Oak, like your USPs.
So we design, manufacture and install oak frame buildings. If the oak frame building is one of the smaller sort of frames like your porches, gazebos, pergolas, things like that, then a lot of the time we'll use like our manufacturers that are here over in the Kent or the Midlands. And then if we have a more sort of large scale product building, so things like your garages, or your house extensions, garden rooms, things like that. Sometimes, then if it's a little bit more complex, then we'll use our manufacturers that come from France. So we only use oak that's from sustainable sources, and they're imported from France.
So in regards to some of the projects that you've been working on, because I've seen some of the projects online that you've been posting, which look great.
I know, it's lovely.
What are your favourite projects to work on?
Well, for me, I definitely love the outdoor kitchens, garages.
Yeah.
And also as well, the porches, because it's the front of your house.
Yeah.
It's the first thing people see. It's your first impression, isn't it? Like that somebody has of your home when you first walk up to a house. You see a beautiful oak porch. So definitely like the garage. But I think I like the extensions. So like your conservatories and things like that, because I love that feeling of that outdoor living.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love that where you're being able to just bring the out, you're still within your home, but it just feels like you're in with nature sort of thing, you know? It just feels like you're outdoors and it feels better. It's definitely for kids. Like we've just started to do play houses, so tree houses, which I think is amazing because now we've got all these kids sitting on their video games constantly. No one's out playing and stuff. And it's so good to just be out with nature. Yeah. To be able, all of your senses, that kids don't, I don't, if you're outside in the gardens and things like that, you're literally watching the different seasons and things like that. It's meant to be really good as well. If you've got a child that's got things like autism or ADHD and things like that, it's meant to be really calming for them to be able to do outdoor play.
So the industries that you're working in at the minute and the ones that you want to get into, can you explain them once to us?
So at the moment, the majority of our leads and our clients all come from residentials, like private residentials. So individuals that are looking to renovate their own home or their garden. But we really want to be able to, we've done a couple of projects where we've collaborated with building contractors and who are working with different clients, but still on individual homes. Yeah. We definitely want to be able to keep on doing both of those. Yeah. We want to be able to, obviously, the individuals, it's our bread and butter, it's our everyday client. But we want to be able to hopefully start collaborating with, property developers, landscapers, architects, and more building contractors. With regards to the sort of like the property developers, it would be amazing to be able to obviously get to a point where they are, building a development that's got 50 houses on it and they need 50 porches. Yes. And it's for us to be able to, to go in and be able to say, listen, if you choose oak over a softwood, it may be the more sort of high-end premium product. It may cost much more, but it's ultimately it's sustainable and the durability is going to outlast and the softwood. So it's going to be the better option in the long run.
You could also go into like holiday parks and stuff like that with everything that you do.
Right, so actually, this is actually, I didn't really want to give this away because somebody might steal my idea.
I just thought I'd chuck it in.
But actually, that is my vision. That is one of my big goals. I really want to open up a Southern Oaks luxury lodges.
Yes.
I actually really, that is because one of my favourite UK holiday is to do a little lodge, little hot tub on the veranda. Don't have to pack makeup, pack your hunter wellies, got the dogs with you, and just chill, no TV, just play ball games and cards and, hang out with the family and then go for nice long walks, a nice little country pub for a meal, for a Sunday roast and stuff like that. And and just have like being a nice luxury lodges. I guess that we say luxury lodges because we just think, I'm always thinking that with oak, because it's the premium product that you always, I don't know.
Yeah, when I've seen your products in some of the work that you have done, that's immediately what I thought of. Yeah. Holiday lodges and holiday parks.
Yeah, something definitely that I'd love to be able to do. Don't know, it's still my idea.
That's for Sonia. Okay, going back to your team, do you want to tell us a bit more about the team that you have in-house and the people that you work with?
So at the moment we have there's myself, obviously, and then who does all of the back office, all the boring stuff of just running a business. And obviously as well, I'm doing a lot of the social media and building the brand and allowing people to get to know me as the founder and owner, so MD of Southern Oak. So. And then we have 2 project managers, one that really helps as well with the in-house of marketing, which can't wait to be able to pass on to like professionals and stuff like that when we get to a point where we're able to do that. And then we have a person who deals with the sales. So when the leads all come in, they would be the first point of contact with the client, get all the details, etc. Then pass it on to the project manager to see the project all the way through to completion. And then we have the manufacturers and installers. So they'll be at their own workshops, and then they will the order will go over to them, and they will basically create the frame either at the workshop or on site, depending on the size of it. And that's it, really. Yeah. And then at the end, when they've finished and completed, we send our clients a lovely little oak box with a bottle of champagne in it to say thank you for choosing Southern Oak. So,
I know, well, thank you for us as well.
Yes, you're welcome.
So you're going a lot, working closely with people within the construction industry. You've got events coming up in regards to diversity and inclusion. Do you want to tell us a bit about them? The
other day I was approached by a company that's called Roadwork Media, and they already work with children or youths from underprivileged areas, underprivileged backgrounds, and they are, children that are either at risk of offending or already have offended. They're already working with people that youths that are living in areas that are sort of deprived, and they just basically are providing a space for them to be able to come in and do things that are creative. So they'll do things like filmmaking, writing music, script writing for films, things like that. Something to take them off of the street. A lot of the youth centres and stuff like that have all closed down. So people that are coming and do things like this to try to draw these kids away from, from gang violence, knife crime, things like that, which obviously is massive. This is in South East London, which is where I'm originally from. And so these kids look like me. They come from an area where I've grown up and went to school, and they've asked me to come in and do a talk just to basically show them that where you come from doesn't have to be where you end up, and you do have choices, and it's down to you to make the choice and to but it's also down to the rest of the community who has managed to not end up going down that route or living that lifestyle or still be stuck in that sort of lifestyle. It's for us to go in and help them and show them that there are other routes, and so that's why I'm going to be going and do a talk in, and I'm hoping to be able to do a lot more of that sort of stuff.
That's nice. Is there anything else that you've got going on this year that you want to mention while we're on that topic?
Yeah, so I've also just wrote an article on why oak is a sustainable choice. And that will be in the Design and Build magazine. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's my first article, so it should be, so it's,
that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you enter into that award? Have you heard it back?
Yeah, so I did the CITB award.
Yes.
So the CITB award I've been entered into, so I don't know when we find out whether or not.
I think it's June, that one, isn't it?
Is it June? Yeah, possibly. So we'll see what happens, but that would be exciting if I'd get nominated for that.
And what does the future hold for Southern Oak, and where are you guys going this year?
So hopefully I would really love to be able to have, because we're sort of based in the Midlands, Kent, I'm in Essex, then, and obviously we have the manufacturers in France as well. I would love to be able to bring the team
together.
So not all the time, because I really think that people should be able to work from home and the office. It should definitely be a split, you know. But I think that at the same time it is good for, to getting our ideas all together and brainstorming and things like that. So I would love to be able to have a workshop, and with the workshop have some offices so that the office team can be together to do all our ideas, but then the workshop is there. Also, the workshop mainly so that we can then buy the oak in bulk, and that's going to then cut our costs in how much, that we're spending, because we're basically buying it per project. So in an ideal world, we definitely want to be able to have the workshop so that we can buy the oak in bulk, so that then we can also then in turn be able to make oak a little bit more affordable as well, because where it is seen as such a premium and high-end product, some people don't even choose to even inquire about it because they think, oh, it's going to be so much more than the softwood and stuff. So I feel like that we really just need to be able to educate people that although it may be more expensive than your softwood or your brick or, you know, it's going to add value to your home. So not only does it look aesthetically more pleasing, but it's going to add value to your home as well because it's a premium product. So I think the common misconception with regards to oak is that people see it as such a high-end and premium product that it feels as if it's unattainable. It feels like it's going to be too expensive. And so we want to be able to just sort of educate people that it can be affordable and just contact us, have the conversation. We're not a company that is about the hard sell. We don't do cold calling or anything like that either. All of our leads that come in are all warm leads. It's all that people that have come to us because they've seen a product that they've liked on our social media or our website, and they like it. So they've come to us and they want to know a quote. But a lot of people, I think, shy away from even asking because they think, it's so nice, it's going to be too expensive. But have the conversation with us because we can always work around how we can make it work and fit your budget. So I think that that's one of the main things that we really want people to just give us a call, have the chat, and I'm sure we'll be able to fit it into your budget, you know, make it work.
So the different industries that you are hopefully getting into more, do you want to discuss them with me and how you can help them?
So we really want to be able to start working with a lot more sort of building contractors, property developers, with those sort of people that we would be looking to be able to provide them with or assist them with things like the garages, the extensions, garden rooms, things like that. And then so landscapers as well, with their sort of clients, we would be able to help them with obviously the gazebos, the pergolas, again, garden rooms and things, you know. Everybody in the summertime and stuff like that, they want to be able to get that hot tub out. Every product that we've worked on, and every time when we take the pictures and we post it, they always get a lot of praise. People are just like, oh my God, that is stunning, or oh, I wish I had a big enough garden, or I wish I had the money to be able to do that right now, and things like that. So, so I'm really proud of all of them. But I'm really excited. We've just done we're working on right now a really big sort of outdoor kitchen, and I'm really excited to see the finish of that because it's looking really good. So the frame, sort of the structure's already gone up, but I want to see the finished touches when it's actually been made by the client into an actual outdoor kitchen where all the furniture goes in. And the clients are really good in sending us pictures after, because obviously once we've done the frame up, it's done. But we wanna like see the end result once they've actually made it into their living space and given their little personal touch to it with regards to their furnishing and things like that. So we always try to keep a good sort of contact with our clients after as well.
And are you a nationwide company?
We are. So originally called it Southern Oak because originally we was looking at doing the sort of the south of England, but actually once them leads start coming in, you just go wherever the work is. So, and you make it work. Do you know what I mean? So, So now, we are nationwide now. Yeah. Which is good. We shouldn't be turning away no business. Definitely not.
Do you want to tell us a bit more in regards to the products that you obviously supply?
So let's start at the front of the house. So we start, basically we do porches, which is obviously the first thing people see when they come to your home. So, it's your first impression of, so that's the first thing that we will do. And then within the home, we also actually, I think a lot of the time we just will look at the outdoor living, but actually we do also produce, or we can provide things like people have an oak beam over their fireplace, or oak tables, and oak benches for the garden, things like that as well. So there are some internal stuff as well. Even sometimes people might just want to create within their homes oak beams on their, on their ceilings to give it a different look. And then if we're going out to the outdoor living, we do things such as the pergolas, the gazebos, and we do garden rooms. A lot of people are now working from home since COVID.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some of them, like little pods.
Yeah. So, well, it just depends. Everything we do is bespoke. So whatever you want, we will create it. If it's in oak, we'll create. If it's in oak, we'll create it. It's fine. So, but yeah, so with the garden rooms, we found that we've had people like that are maybe they're a beautician or maybe they're a PT, like a personal trainer and stuff like that. So it's not just for working from home offices. People have it for a bar, if they want to have like their little pub, because when we couldn't go out and stuff like that, I'm supposing that a lot of people started to create their own little pubs in their back garden. So yeah, there's lots of different uses as well for a garden room. Extensions. Just more aesthetically pleasing than, I guess, than your normal brick extension. So, the conservatory, literally just anything that you can think of that we could build it in oak. It can be built in another material, we'd be able to create it in oak. So it's just about if you've got an idea, come to us, have the conversation, and then, our project managers who specialise in oak would be able to see how we would make it work. So, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you're working in the construction industry now, and how have you found that as being a female?
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, last year I was nominated for Rising Star Women Construction Awards, which was really cool because it was like I literally only, it was really new for me then as well. And that. We've got that coming up again, and hopefully I'll be nominated again for something.
Yes.
But I love it. It doesn't faze me for it to be like a male-dominated industry. That bit doesn't faze me at all. I'm really championing that more women should get into working in the construction industry, whether it's on the tools or in, I don't work on the tools and stuff, but I'm in the back office. But you need both. You need the two to make or create a successful company. So you don't have to be, the electrician or the roofer or, you can be on the other side doing the marketing, the sales, the project management and things like that as well. So definitely I want to push for more people to be able to more women to be able to step into that role.
There's a lot of stigma around women being in the industry. I feel like I am seeing a lot more and more women on the tools and things like that, and just working in a construction firm. No. Yeah,
it's being really pushed at the moment, like especially like with like the Women in Construction awards and things like that. I think that is really highlighting. It has a big following and things like that. So, and they're really trying to push it more in schools as well. Even like my daughter's 19, she left the school that she was going to do sixth form because they didn't do construction, and she actually went to another sixth form which did, and there was only her and one other girl on the course.
Really?
But actually, that year, it was 2 more than they had any year before.
Wow.
So actually, it just shows that it's already starting to have a little bit more take-up in as a subject to choose. So that's really interesting. It's exciting, definitely. So many of the buildings that we do need planning permission. So especially things like the garages, like the larger buildings. So we would love to work with more architects because it would just make that process more seamless as well. So, and it would benefit them and benefit us to be able to push, oak as a product of choice, rather than the traditional brick or the softwood. For when people are using the softwood, it's more about about budget and thinking that the oak will be too expensive. So if we're working with more architects and they're able to talk to their clients, we can educate the architects that, it's a sustainable choice. The durability means it's going to last longer. These are the reasons why, and also it's more aesthetically pleasing. So it's the things that then they would then be able to pass that information on to their clients, and hopefully more clients who wouldn't have probably thought about putting an oak porch or an oak garage will then start at least considering it as a product to choose. I feel like as well, representation really matters, and working already working in construction, it's already in a male dominated industry. But there's also underrepresentation of people from ethnic backgrounds that may be either running the business, but and even working on things like the tools and stuff like that. I remember when I was younger that when you came out of school, if you wasn't an academic person, and so you weren't going to go on to college or uni or things like that, people from different backgrounds would have an uncle or a dad or a bigger brother who was working in trades, and so therefore they'd be like, oh, just come and do a job with me, come and work with me doing painting and decorating or plumbing or something like that. And I think that a lot of boys and girls from ethnic backgrounds, they didn't really have those people working in them sort of trades, and so they didn't have that sort of out. So they ended up sometimes, maybe that's another reason for them to end up, on the streets doing different things, and then, the devil makes work for idle hands sort of thing, So I want to be sort of like a representation for those young women and men to show that construction and learning a trade. Trades are never going to die. People are always going to need a trade. People are going to always need a plumber, a decorator, a roofer, electrician, a carpenter. And so therefore to learn it's a good route if you didn't want to do the whole academic one. And so hopefully by seeing a female in a male industry, but also seeing a female who's of mixed heritage, hopefully that empowers them and lets them feel like, I can also do this too.
Well, thank you for coming on, Sonia. It's been brilliant to have you on.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.